Okay, and that's us live.
I don't even remember what we were doing.
Yeah, no, no.
Gotron
Got
shit
got
portal.
sucked into a toilet, and now we're going to Shit Valley to fight
yeah.
the
So
shit demons.
in the so for a number of episodes, Gottron's just been in the bathroom, and Hawkins had indicated like, oh, you know what? Maybe he got sucked into the shit portal. He's like one of the toilets has a do not enter sign on it, like out of order. But Gottron probably didn't pay attention to that, or just didn't care. And that one sometimes has a portal to like
The shit realm.
a sewer universe,
Oh, I remember now.
right?
There you
Yeah,
go.
my
And
There
character
you go.
got into
I was
a
a
sexy
paladin.
fun time.
yeah,
All
so
right.
so yeah, Melody Gray and two of the people who work at the castle went down in search for Gottron and Jethro, and they traversed through a number of things, and may have murdered some things, and there were some offers made. I think some people took up some offers. I can't remember exactly, and definitely. What was your first character's name, Danny?
Requise.
Requise, and he died.
And then y'all found my twin, Draquise.
Yeah,
Oh my fucking
yeah,
god! I hate this. Yeah, I
yeah.
forgot.
And
Wow.
so you guys have reached sort of the end of this little dungeon, and they're at the very end is Gottron and Jethro. What are Gottron and Jethro doing in this tunnel of fecal matter?
Shooting the shit.
So is there other things down here too?
There were, but
This is
maybe
just
you maybe you bypassed them, or maybe you dealt with them. So they dealt with these little sort of like gremlin looking things, and I think they just wanted a hug. I'm not entirely sure, but they just murdered them anyways. And then there was a guy who was
Gotchan's
like,
found a.
well, so you might have passed. There was a guy who was
So he
offering
found
like deals of just like for body parts. He would like give deals. They weren't the greatest deals though.
Yeah, Requise took the deal just so he could shit on command.
Yeah,
I think it was like a lock of hair.
Gotcha. So,
Doesn't matter. He's being fucked to death.
yeah.
So Gotchan has found a nice flat piece of like straight solid ball, and he's drawing a shit mural,
Okay. What's Jethro doing?
helping mixing the different colors.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. So you guys arrive sort of at the end of this tunnel, and then there's Gottrin just doing wall art.
Oh,
Oh, and you lost Melody somewhere along the way, apparently.
Yeah, she was taken by the shit gods.
oh, the shit goblin. The wall. Uh. Well. Hey, Gotron. What the fuck are you doing?
Making art. You can't tell. It's going to be my masterpiece.
Your
I'm-
masterpiece.
I'm pretty sure that's just shit. I'm a dog. I should know. Or
Hey, don't be calling my art shit.
okay, can we leave now? This is like I can't breathe down here. My nose is way too sensitive for these things.
I get
Yeah.
some mud that is not covered in shit and cake it over his nose so he no longer smells.
Oh, your hands were just touching it. Though.
Bad dog.
God.
So for reference, Gottrin, you've been down here for probably the better part of an entire day.
Oh, just one day?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I put on the finishing two touches and I say, done. We can go.
Yeah. And then the other two guards, Jaquise. Well, Jaquise, you're like emaciated because you've been down here a while.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Surviving on expired peas.
Yeah.
And corn.
Okay.
So Gottrin, you probably passed Jaquise on your way by, and he was just like, emaciated and I don't know, hunched over in the corner. But apparently these guys have gotten him up and moving around.
All right.
Yeah. If I'm gonna be honest, I kind of thought he was another hallucination. He looks
And,
tasty though.
And RFG, what are you doing?
I'm in disbelief that we actually found him.
Okay, cool.
I shall follow whoever goes wherever.
Yeah,
This
sure.
place stinks.
Yeah. So you guys, I guess, make your way back to the exit of the poop portal. Actually, so you get back to where you entered, and the portal's not there, right? Let's see. Let me get RFG to roll a wisdom roll for me.
Okay. Let's see. I am a genius. Was
I don't know, I lost you. You like went in and out.
That's it. I'm a genius. I got a 10.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, you remember the right rune combination to draw where the portal is to open it back up.
Sweet. So
Yeah.
I do so.
Yeah.
What would have happened if he didn't remember it?
Then you'd have to work a lot harder to find out what it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You would end up in Narnia.
Oh,
So yeah,
shit,
yeah.
Narnia.
So like
Shitnia.
you basically get reverse flushed,
Sharknia.
and you get spit back out of the portal into. And so you all like get spit out into the stall, and it's very cramped because you're all in there at the same time as it spits you out.
Okay, I'm getting out.
I
of here.
immediately hold my nose in disgust. I'm like, it smells like not shit in here.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Where is Ugrin? There it is. Here we go. Come on, load in.
I
There we
look around and I'm like, what are the odds we're not in Ugrin and we're in Poogrin?
go.
Why
Clever.
are you the way you are?
Because I'm hungry.
I accept that.
Yep.
As soon as I say that, I'm like, wait, we're outside, and I sprint to find the nearest food stall.
Yeah.
Jethro and I, we go to the bathhouse.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, you guys, you take your showers, whatever. So well, let's come back to Clancy and Mist maybe, because we're done with red shirts, for sure.
But my red shirt survived.
Yeah. So now we have to kill him. Yeah. As soon as you come back, Hawkins gives you a high five that kills you instantly.
What?
As my character's
I just-
sprinting
I
towards a
did-
food stall, Clancy stabs him and rifles through his pockets.
Yep, sounds legit. Yeah. When
We can't have nice things.
when Hawkins high fives
As I go
RF.
down, I start screaming, "This is a bunch of fucking bullshit."
Yeah, when Hawkins kills RFG, he's like, "Oh, my bad. Oh, you okay?" All right, he's limp. Oh crap.
I'm not
Not
fucking
another one.
high-fiving you ever again, Hawkins.
Yeah, I mean, Hawkins is strong, and RFG is a red shirt, so you know.
Never again.
Hawkins says that's probably for the best. So he says, "Oh man, Godrin." As Godrin and Jethro are heading outside, he's like, "Oh, so you made it out of the shit portal, huh?"
Yes, we did.
He says, "Oh man, you're like only one of like 3 people ever to make it out of there."
What can
There
I say?
more than 3 of us, Hawkins.
He says, "Oh well, actually RFG's dead, so."
Clancy walks in. There was a homeless man that smelled like shit. He's dead too.
He says, "Oh, yeah, that was Requise, but he looks skinnier. It's weird." Anyways, and he said, "Hey, did Melody make it out? I don't see her anywhere."
Sure. As I have really slanted eyes when I say it.
He says, "Oh, is the sun in your face? It's weird. We're inside."
She's somewhere, I'm sure.
Oh, cool.
Mist looks at Gray and's like, "We may never see her again."
Yeah, I I have no idea.
Cool.
Thank God.
Not my tree sprite. Not my problem.
Right. So he says, so all right, you guys, and Gottrin and Jethro, I guess you're leaving. He's like, we should probably figure out what you're doing with the whole, like, I don't know, raiding the north, talking to the dwarves thing. I don't know. Seems like an important task that's been delayed for probably way too long.
Yeah.
What?
He's
Are
yeah,
we doing things?
yeah. I think things are what you know. I don't know.
You were gonna do a coup.
Not coup on you, baby.
I,
Cuckoo,
I did
you?
that in the tunnel enough. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
So so as everyone else is going to wash up, Mist. Well, first of all, Mist, you're going to the Dwarven Kingdom, and to talk to the king, and Clancy, I believe, said he could get you there, quickly.
yep, shadow walk me.
Oh yes, I've got to do the thing. Do you have everything you need?
I always have everything I need.
Very well then. And I'm just gonna look and be like, crawl under the table.
I've never heard it.
Okay.
Never heard that before, but
But have
Don't
you?
lie, Gray.
But have you
I've
said?
asked you that several times.
Have you said that though?
What? Did you say it? Yeah.
So Mist, you crawl under the table.
Yeah, I just shake my head and I'm like, God damn it, this better be a thing.
Clancy, roll.
Willy Wazoo.
what?
So Mist.
Oh no, hold on. Add one to that. I was on the wrong sheet. That was for
Oh, okay.
Reese.
Okay. All right. So not as bad.
I'll
Not
lose it. It's fine.
Yeah. So Mist, you actually get dropped about a mile out from the dwarven village.
Yeah, I can handle that.
Yeah. And so now Mist is gone. We'll come back to that in a minute. But so for the rest of you, we'll say a little bit of time has gone by, and we resolved any baths or whatever anyone's had to do. And,
Refixing my spell slot.
yeah, and you've reconvened. And what was next for you guys? So there was you sent off the envoys to the Minotaurs. You sent off
Mist to the dwarves.
Mist to the dwarves. And obviously there's the Ted business. So
I would like to retroactively do one thing and cast another spell on Mist before he leaves.
okay.
Cool, 14. Now me and him have a telepathic link, so I'll be able to go pick him up later.
Oh, good. Yeah, probably matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
In that case, I think we're supposed to go find where the fuck Ted is.
Yeah. I mean, that seems like a thing you wanted to do.
That's our big.
Wanted's
that's
a
our
pretty
big
hefty word.
Minotaur ghost thing, not ghost thing, skeleton dude, right?
No.
Ted?
No. So that's Thomas. Was that his name?
Oh,
I
okay.
believe it was Thomas.
Yeah.
Thomas.
Yeah. So
With a T.
both Thomas and Simba seem to be missing. They went off together.
They went off together to go find him, right?
To find Ted is what is the story that you have been relayed. So yeah, so if we go way back in time, which was not that long ago for your characters, there was a note that basically said, in trouble, need help, up north, Ted, and Simba and Thomas left to go try and save Ted from whatever. But you also received something. A
timeshare in Aspen.
No, I'm trying to reconcile what I know versus what I've told you.
Why don't you
told us
just
everything,
speak it all out
dumbass.
loud? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we can help you remember.
Yeah, I think you're aware that Simba, because of what's going on with Ted, has been captured and is being held somewhere.
We are now.
I don't remember that, but I do now.
Yeah.
We'll just say yeah.
Sure, we got a ransom note in the mail. The Harpy mail.
At any rate, you're gonna go try and find Simba because Ted was in trouble with something somewhere. So that's what you know.
Okay. Hey guys,
Yeah.
we should go find Simba.
All right, let's go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Everyone get under the table.
Well, I don't like this table business. Sure. I guess I will.
Well, I said that there was a reason why you had to go find Ted first.
Because Ted... No, wait, okay, so we didn't know and Ted would know, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Jethro, we go to the bathroom together. We go under the table together. Let's go.
Jethro just like
We loudly crawl under the table.
Jethro's like, if it is your wish, my liege.
We go.
Yeah.
As everyone gets under the table and I hop under there with them, I'm like, all right, listen very, very carefully, guys. Just be ready to guard, because I don't know exactly where we're going. And then I'll say, within 100 feet of Ted, the orc.
All right. Cool.
And at 12.
Yep.
Zip, zaps, boom, we're gone.
So yeah, the portal opens up, and you feel a gush of exceptionally cold wind come out of it as it swallows you up. And then we're going to swap over to Mist. So Mist, you arrive at the entrance to the dwarven sort of underground, inside a mountain stronghold.
Okay.
Yep, and of course there's guards and the whatnot. So when you arrive there, there's just like you can see the grass is stained with blood everywhere, and you can see where like there were bodies and they were dragged back inside, and the ground is very like torn up and whatnot.
Romantically,
Say what?
I just walk up to the gate.
Yeah, okay, and there's some guards. They look pretty shook though.
Cool, man. I'm like, what's up, guys?
They're like, halt.
Oh, shit, I forgot.
Yeah,
Who goes there? Well, actually,
I missed.
so I don't think Mist even knows what happened there because I don't think Clancy didn't tell anyone what he did.
No, but I remember off character.
Yeah. They're like, oh, you're not a dwarf. Why are you here?
To see my best bro, the king.
He says, oh, the king said something about a visitor. I can't remember. Look, it's been a day, man. All right.
You okay, bro?
He says,
I look around, like, yeah, it looks like you partied hard.
He says, no, there was a monster and lots of dead, and I don't know if now's the time for visitors.
Look, man, there's not nothing around here for like, I don't know, 200 miles. Let me in, man. I'm not staying out here if there's a fucking monster.
He says, 1 second. And he walks back, and you can say he picks up this sort of like, I don't know, it's like a brass looking, like it looks like a phone, but this world doesn't have phones really.
Is it a snail?
No, it's not One Piece. But he picks it up, and he like finger draws some runes on it, and he goes, yeah, no, it's William. Yeah, no, it's not back. It's gone. Yeah, no worries. Listen, there's a guy says he's friend of the king. Says his name is Mist. He's wanting in. No, now the king said, personal friend. Are you sure? He's not a dwarf. Yeah, I know. Okay, whatever. And then he puts it down. And he comes back out and he's like,
I'm smiling. I just say, "Told you, little guy."
he's like, all right, man. So just wait 1 second. Got my man Zane coming down. He's gonna escort you. So it'll be like 2 minutes before he's here.
Cool, man. I reach my hand out, but it's also covered in the poison that makes you my best friend. To shake his hand.
Roll charisma, because he doesn't like non-dwarves.
Cool, man. Shake my hand, motherfucker.
He's like, yeah, fine. And he reaches out his hand and he shakes it.
I say, man, I'm glad we're friends. Thanks, buddy.
He says, yeah, I mean, I guess we're friends. I don't know why we are, but that sounds right.
Cool, man. Appreciate it.
I'd say 2 minutes goes by and this sort of young, spry-looking dwarf comes out. And he's like, all right, I'm here. Where's the guy? And then, the dude was like, yeah, this is my buddy Mist, friend of the king's. And he says, oh, you're friends with a human? And he says, yeah, I feel like we've been friends forever. I don't, we just met, but like, I don't know, something about him. And he's like, oh, okay. And he says, well, right this way, sir. And he leads you in.
Cool.
Yeah. So, you, I have too many maps now. It's a problem. Yeah. So, Dwarven capital. Yeah, I mean, you go in. The entrance you go in is not the crappy town entrance that you had been into before, where they lead.
I get fast tracked.
Yeah. I mean, where they lead you and kind of pops you out right in front of the entrance to the castle, and you get in no problem. They walk you down the long court, and then there's the king on his throne. And he says, and you see the king. The king sees you. He says, Mist, my friend, welcome. Come. And then we fade out to what everyone else is doing. So, you guys.
Accidentally stumbled upon the loot cave. Yay, we're rich.
Yeah, no.
We ended up in the treasury.
Why is that place glowing purple?
It's an excellent
Why
question.
aren't all places
Yeah.
glowing purple?
So you don't necessarily see all this right away, but you pop out right beside this like cherry blossom tree in this like snow covered kingdom.
Oh, you're in feudal Japan. Good luck, fellas.
Yeah. And there are like a handful of guards in front of this gate. And as soon as you just like pop out of the shadows there, they are immediately alarmed. Of course, they're orcs, and they draw some spears, and they're like, "Intruders! Intruder alert!" And they're yelling. And so you see more orcs on this wall come up here, kind of come out, and they have bows drawn. What are you doing?
I'm gonna cast a spell.
Okay.
Woohoo, 9. I'm gonna cast Prestidigitation to make my voice louder, and I'm gonna scream as loudly as possible. We are here to help King Ted.
Okay. And roll some charisma for me on that.
Shit, alright. 11.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled 9/11.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Not funny at all.
Yeah.
Why'd
So.
you laugh?
I couldn't help myself. Shut up.
So yeah. You make a convincing argument, and they say, "How did you get here? What dark sorcery did you use to arrive here like this?"
Magic?
Yeah.
Ted summoned us.
And then you hear everyone, put your weapons down. Put your weapons down. There, I know these guys. And you see Ted walking out the front gate. And Ted's like, everybody, just chill out, chill out. He says, whoa, dudes. I mean, hello, travelers, friends. Why are you, bro? How'd you? Sorry. How did you fine gentlemen get here?
We traveled
We crawled
maybe
under
a couple of seconds.
We crawled under a table and it brought us right here.
He says, classic. I mean, yes, that is something that you would do. Perhaps we could go inside and talk more cordially.
Indubitably, sir.
He says, "Good. Come. These are my honored guests. Everyone, just put your weapons down, please." And you're this guy. He says, King Ted. I don't mean to interject, but outsiders aren't typically allowed in Orkanda. And he's
What?
Are you fucking serious right now? Did I just hear that come out of your mouth?
Yeah.
Oh my
You
god!
are a racist.
Yeah. Anyway,
we are not
let's.
outsiders. We're under-tablers.
Disney, don't sue us, please.
And then so Ted pulls the sword out of his like sheath, and he says, "What's this?" And the guy says, "It's Orc's caliber." And he says, "And do you wield it or do I wield it?" And he says, "You wield it, King Ted." And he says, "That's right. And so what I say goes. If I say these people are allowed, they're allowed." And he's like, "Okay." And so he escorts you in. And so yeah, you guys walk through some. The orc aesthetic inside the castle is like warrior chic, right? So it's like they're like animal heads and skulls, but they're all very like tastefully done. And like all the decor is like wood and stone, but it looks nice. And so he leads you through a series of chambers into a large looks like conference room kind of war room. So he has an escort of guards with him, and he says I would like to confer with my friends alone, please. And they look at each other, and he says, your king commands it. And they just kind of shrug and like walk out, and he closes the door. And he says, "Oh, dudes, oh my god, that's so hard trying to act like a king and stuff. Well, bros, so what are you doing here?"
Looking for you.
He says, "Well, yeah, man, you found me. Here I am. Just trying to be a king and stuff. And like, bros, listen, there's this like goblin scourge up here, and they're like encroaching on our territory and stuff, like mad buttholes and things. So like, yeah, like we're like at war or some shit."
Sounds like they're already here. They're also headed down south too.
He says, "Nah, bruh, really?"
Yeah.
He says, "That's crazy, because like we've been keeping them from like passing our borders. I don't even know how they get down there."
You need better border patrol. Maybe a wall of some sort.
Yeah, man. There's this one orc. He's one of my advisors. His name is Trundlebump, and he keeps talking about building a wall.
Sounds like a swell fella.
Yeah, yeah. He's really good at like economy and stuff, and like he says there are these things called loopholes that like can really like save you money and stuff. I think I don't know how it works, man.
On your car insurance? What?
Switch to Geico already.
He says, "So what's up, man? Why were you looking for me?"
How are your
Right.
numbers? How are your numbers of orcs compared to the goblins?
Yeah, Simba, I think.
Simba, what's wrong with that little dude?
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, where'd he go?
It was here or something like that. I don't remember.
He was
'cause it's
coming
been so
this
long.
way.
So you guys saw a note that said it was from Ted saying that he was in trouble and he needed Simba's help.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Simba's gone, and
Do you say anything about the note?
well, yeah. I'll say something about the note. Yeah, we got this note. Do we have the note?
Yeah, I believe you do.
Show him the note.
You would have the note because it was for you.
Yeah,
Then I show him the note.
yeah. I think you rifled through Horny D's like underwear to find it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right.
Yeah, you
like.
Yeah. He's like, oh, bro, like, I definitely didn't write that note. Like, my handwriting's not that nice, bro.
Oh, then I have no idea who wrote this note. Then.
He says, oh, it's crazy. So
Do
like,
you have any court enemies?
like, no, I don't think any of the like sports courts hate me or anything, bro.
I remembered why I didn't want to come here. I mean, hey.
Hey, bro.
Then if you didn't write this,
He says, hey,
you
man.
need to figure out who did.
So like, this note says like I'm in trouble, but like, bro, I ain't in like trouble. I wouldn't send for somebody like that. I wouldn't put my little buddy in danger. He's like my little bro. Taught him everything I know.
Yeah, I know. That's we have so many problems now, but that's
We,
besides
sir,
the point.
have a kidnapping case.
He says, oh, hey,
I'm gonna
like,
pull out a fucking Sherlock Holmes hat from my bag and put it on my head.
okay. He's,
What
oh,
the
dude,
hell is
sweet hat. You got more of those?
I only have the one, but they're not hard to make.
Oh, cool. So yeah, he said something about like how many people we got, I guess.
Yeah.
He says, well, like, Wakanda's got like, I don't know, like 30,000 people in it. Now we only got like 10,000, like, you know, like people of combatant age, you know. We have about 8,000 trained soldiers, I think. At least that's what they tell me, you know. I'm not great at the math, you know. They make me talk all proper and stuff, and then I like hold the sword up and I like, you know, like say that we'll be victorious and people cheer, you know. My old man, my pops, he was way better at that, but like, you know, he passed away. It's pretty sad.
Oh, come on. You've got a mouth. Don't be so hard on yourself, I guess.
Oh yeah, I mean sometimes I get real hard, but then like, you know, anyways, so like, so where is Simba then?
I'm
That's
not
what we came
100%
here
sure
for.
now.
Oh yeah, that's right. You know, we should find that little dude if he's missing.
Okay, I'm gonna make this as easy as I can for you, Teddy boy.
Oh, I like easy.
Is there anyone who can identify notes and where they may be from?
Oh, like a musician?
I completely understand why Mist hates you sometimes.
He says, "Oh no, Mist and I are tight, bro. Mist is like we boys. We like this.
Yep.
You know?
1 second, and I'm gonna pull out all the rags I have in my little space, and I'm just gonna shove it into my head, and just.
That broke
All right,
me.
I'm broken. I'm done for the
That broke me. I can't.
He says, "Oh man, like, is that the note you're trying for? Was that like a G sharp maybe?"
I'm gonna pinch him on the cheek and say, "Ted, you're lucky you're pretty."
He's, "Oh, thanks, bro. Yeah, I am pretty, aren't I?"
Oh
They fucking
man.
said
He's
I
like, "Hey,
completely
have you seen my
understand.
guns? Check this out." And he raises one arm, and he raises one arm, and he says, "Oh, but wait, it gets better. These guns, they turn into cobras." And he turns his fists out like this.
Yep. If I
He's like,
didn't-
Oh wait, Agnar's here. He starts doing the same.
So, yeah. Ted says, so who is the beefy guy? I kind of like him.
Hello, friend. I am Agnar,
He said-
master of muscle. And then I flex like the Olympian.
Yeah. He says, "Oh, bro, so good," and he starts flexing too. And he's like, "Oh, wait," and he like flexes really hard, and his shirt starts to rip.
Oh, if I had a shirt, I'd match the energy.
He says, "Oh, wait, bro, that's the axe."
I whip it off my back and proudly proclaim, "This is Axe the Axe."
Yeah, dude. I used that one time, but then I got turned into a golem, and then like Mist had to save me. But like I had the axe.
So I'm gonna take apart the axes and hand him the solid one.
He's like, "Whoa, dude. That's awesome. You want to check out my
Something
weapon?"
even cooler, and I'm gonna tap the blade of the axe to the other blade and then suck it back in.
He's like, "Oh shoot, dude. Oh, that's sick. I got a weapon too." And he pulls out Excalibur and he says, "Check it out. Like I guess like only I can wield it. Cause you know, I'm the king or some business."
Can I try?
Yeah, man, here. And he hands it to you. And it just goes limp. Like the blade like folds over.
I begin wiggling it.
Like wiggling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like spaghetti in your hands.
This is a fun weapon, and I hand it back to him.
Yeah, and then it like, immediately goes erect again.
Wow.
He's I know, it's so weird.
This same weapon.
So-
never.
So, my new friend,
Yeah.
I understand that we're not wordy folk, me and you. I flex again.
It's like, no, words are hard, man.
Do you know where any wordy folk are in here? And I flex again.
His oh yeah, like my old man's advisor. I guess he's my advisor now. Yeah, man. His name is Long Tusk. The something. I don't know. Long Tusk. I just call him Longy. He doesn't like it.
Well, then, could you take us to see him? Maybe he could help with our notes.
Oh yeah, bro.
Air quotes.
Long tusk dong cord.
Yeah, I don't. He doesn't like it when I make up names. I mean, I do it anyways because like, you know, I'm good at it. But yeah, he's kind of boring. Whenever he starts talking, my mind just goes me.
I have the same when he starts
Yeah.
talking.
Okay, hold
I
on.
point to wait. I don't know any of you three.
So he's like, oh yeah, we gotta leave the room. Hold on one second. And he like stands up straight. And he goes, and he says, guards, we are exiting now. If you could take us to Long Tusk, please. And the doors open and they escort you out. And we cut back when we fade out and fade into where Mist is in the other kingdom. And I take this and I put it somewhere where it goes. Who knows? Boop. Right. Here we go. Come on, image render. Render so good or not? Fine, whatever. So Mist, you're there.
I
And
would say I see it just fine.
yeah, it took mine a second. Mist, the king greets you and he holds out his hand for you to shake.
I shake it.
Yeah. He says, "Oh, Mist, good." He says, "So listen, I sent a raven out to check on this goblin horde, and well, it came back inconclusive. I guess the team they sent out to check on it, I don't know. They started worshiping, what was it, goats or something?
Goblins.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they started worshiping goblins or something, and then so I had to send the team out, and so I'm still waiting to hear back from them. But currently, I've got no information.
Well, that's not good.
Yes, and so right now I just there's not much I can do. I'm afraid my hands are tied. Politics.
Well, the longer you delay, the worse it'll be, sir.
He says, "Look, if I had something, to show me that it was true, but all I can do is send out word and have it investigated. I can't just mobilize, an entire nation, on the word of a human. There'd be a coup. I'd be overthrown, I think."
You would be overthrown by saving yourselves?
By just blindly following the word of one man who, while I find to be very trustworthy, yeah, the
We're
advisors.
not really fighting.
Huh?
Nothing. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay. He says, and we have the impending war with the Minotaurs going on too. So there's that. I mean, I'd be really foolish of me to divide my forces when I have an established, well-armed nation bearing down on me.
Oh, shit. Alright, as a group, outside of this, guys, did we decide to kill him, or are we going to keep trying to talk him into joining like this? What do we want?
So we can kill him. That's not that big of a deal, I don't think. But considering he's talking about the Minotaur Nation too, it's possible you could maybe diplomatically deal with that. Since we already have people going there, we could potentially set something up for like a peace agreement or a ceasefire at least.
Yeah, I was thinking more diplomatic than death, but I was going to do whatever we decided, so...
I'm cool with either one.
Alright. Everybody else?
Yeah,
I'm also
go for it.
cool with either one.
Alright, well, we'll try the diplomacy first then. Alright.
I mean, you got a link with Clancy, so
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But I'm
Which
just
means you
conferring
also
with
have a
the
link with the Minotaurs.
group. Alright, so I relayed to Clancy that the king has said he sent word. The first team was retarded. The second team is looking into it. No words come back yet. He can't.
I forgot that's the other thing we did.
yeah.
Yes, it is. I remembered as soon as he said it. Just pumping rocks, bro. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
It's gonna few, maybe days, weeks, whatever.
He probably
Okay.
got another 3 or 4 days before he finds out from the other team.
All right, so I'll say 3 or 4 days, about a week.
Okay. Clancy's gonna respond. He'll get in contact with the Minotaurs when he can, and maybe, who knows, we can talk them into ceasefiring between each other for the time being.
And I'm gonna ask Ted if he has anything that can be relayed or sent or something like that through you, Clancy, that proves that there is a giant goblin horde war thing going on.
And once we're back to the other scene, I will ask about that.
All right. So I'm going to tell the king that I will get in touch with my contacts to see if there's anything I can do to help with this information gathering on the goblins, and tell him that even though 4 or 5 days doesn't seem like much, this is quite a looming threat, and I will follow his lead.
Okay. He says, okay, yeah, I mean, if you want, we can put you up here in the castle in some nice accommodations, if that's what you like.
That'd be cool as hell, man.
He says, cool. He says, just a word of advice. Not that you would, but don't go near the dungeons. We've got some dangerous criminals down there, and we actually had a breakout not that long ago, and it caused a lot of problems. So we're trying to limit access to that area.
Absolutely. I want to stay the hell out of that.
Yeah. I said, not that you would. I mean, the normal people don't go down to the dungeon. But...
So, like, is there signs or something? Like, where should I stay away? I don't want to even go anywhere near it.
Yeah, I mean, it literally says like dungeon.
Oh, cool. Easy to avoid.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, you've been there before, so he doesn't
I
know.
know,
That. He
but
doesn't know that.
I'm just
Yeah.
exactly. This is a big castle, so I just don't want to like walk into one side and it's something I shouldn't be there.
Yeah. All right. All right. So, anyways, we're gonna cut back to Orconda. Let's see, Orconda. Yeah.
So we're on the way.
Yeah. So actually, the guards take you to where like the throne room is, and Long Tusk isn't there, and then one of his attendants says he's at the Holy Temple, and so you get led kind of through the town to where this glowy purple rock deal is, and so you enter in there. And I mean, are you doing anything? You have any conversation with Orc or with Ted or the guards or anything like that?
Yes, I'm gonna inform Ted of what we need. We need some kind of proof that there is a goblin horde.
Okay.
And I'm also going to ask Ted if he could potentially sign a letter stating that there is a goblin horde that is currently on the move
He says,
with like his princely or kingly signature.
he's like, "Oh yeah, definitely, dude. I got like this stampy thing. You put it in wax and then you like put it on stuff and it makes it all official. I could do that.
Please do.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I mean, yes, I can do that for you, and I would be happy to oblige your request. Yeah. And so yeah, you guys get to the Holy Temple, and you walk into what looks sort of like almost like a church area. You walk past the glowy crystal into the building, and in there there's people bustling about doing stuff, and there's a man sort of like directing them, and he's like, there is Long Tusk, who we are looking for. There, hither, and Long Tusk, you can see, has very long tusks. He's old, gray hairs. He let's see, who's here. Gray, gotcha. Yep. So yeah, this doesn't really matter, I guess, to any of you because you wouldn't know. But there's a guy named Grigori who was an orc, who's been in the game for a while, who died, and that's
Wouldn't Agnar know? Or was he there for?
yes, no,
Yes,
yeah, Agnar
he
would,
did.
yes. So Agnar would. So this guy looks related to Grigori. That is to say that if Agnar doesn't think that all orcs look the same, so
Oh no, they're all muscular, so he knows the difference.
yeah. So this guy kind of favors Grigori some, and you can see when Ted pops in the room, a look of disappointment in his face, and like his shoulders slump a little bit, like this idiot again. So he says, "Oh look, it is King Theodore. What can I do for you today, Your Highness?" And does sort of a cursory bow. And Ted says,
His voice makes me think he's definitely the bad guy.
he says, "These acquaintances of mine have come to request information from you regarding a quest that they are on to find a dear friend of mine." And he goes, "And you think I can help them?" And he says, "Yes, you are quite knowledgeable in things." And he says, "Fine." So he walks down to where you guys are, and he says, So, Theodore, if you could introduce your friends, you say, to me? All non-orcs, I see. And he says, yes, in my many travels throughout the lands, I was privy to meet many different types of people. And he says, you mean while you were gallivanting through the continent, ignoring your princely duties and not getting the education Grigori was supposed to give you? Rest in peace. And he says,
Grigori. Agner says that.
oh, he says, oh, yes, Longtusk here is Grigori's cousin. They have, I don't know, you're related, right? And he says, yes, Grigori was my cousin. Much like Ted here, he thought it pertinent to leave Orkanda and explore the world, and, well, we can see how that turned out for him.
Was Agnar alive when he died?
Yeah, Agnar was at the funeral.
Ah, right. Yeah, such a shame to see such a good guy go.
He says, yes, well, he's my cousin, but I only met him once, really. He came by for a visit. He's much older than I am. In fact, much older than any orc has ever lived. Quite strange, actually. But,
See, it's odd. You did look quite familiar.
yes, we share a family lineage, but I'm afraid I got the brains, whereas Grigori got the...
Cojones.
he...
The long dock.
adventure, I don't know. He never seemed much like an orc. I heard tales of when he was younger, quite the brawler, I suppose, but ever since I met him, he was some sort of bard, or I don't know. But anyways, none of that is important. What can I do for you, friends of Ted? And then Ted says, so, oh yes, right. You asked me to introduce them, and so this one here is Gray, and he has eaten lots of things.
Yes.
And this one is Clancy, and
Indeed.
and
Take a bow.
and he really loves money. And he says things that people think are funny, but I don't understand sometimes. Yeah, and then this one is Gotran the dwarf, and he likes to drink dirt. And I don't know the guy standing behind him who doesn't talk. I assume it's your lover, Gotran?
He's
Hey!
my page.
I'm Gotran's lover.
Sorry.
He's
And
my
then
page.
and this one is Agnar, and Agnar he helped save the world, and then he died,
Ah, yes, that was a fun time.
and
Yeah.
you know what, Agnar, why are you not dead?
Ah, well, I am Agnar, but I'm also not Agnar or something.
He says,
Deep.
that's confusing.
Indeed, I try not to think about it.
Can I just call you Agni no Agni?
Sure.
Cool. So this is Agni no Agni. And so, yeah, these are my friends. Except for that guy. I don't know him. And he points to Jethro.
Jethro sheepishly kind of moves a little farther back.
Yeah. So anyways, Longtoe says, yes, how amusing. Anyways, what is it that you want?
Yes, we need your help to find out something about this note we received.
He says, a note, you say?
Yes,
My-
a apparently forged note from Ted. Theodore. King Theodore. The king of god orcs, or whatever.
Oh, might I see the note then? He says, yes, clearly not written by Ted. It's way too legible and in proper sentences.
Oh,
And
sorry.
Ted goes, that is harsh, Longy. And he says, harsh but true. Anyways, yes, let's see. Look at this note. I don't recognize it. I don't think anyone that I know has written this. You see the way that these letters are formed and how the tips come to a swoop. Very reminiscent of Elvish writing, actually.
That doesn't bode well at all.
He says, Do you have Elvish enemies?
Probably. We have lots of enemies.
He says, oh,
That's true.
what sort of people are you that you have so many enemies?
Some call us heroes, some call us arsonists. I like to call myself an entertainer.
He says, yes, well, I'm sure you're just all the rage at the parties. But here in Orkanda, we tend to do things the proper way, and we tend to only study the things that will help us advance our society and keep us safe. We don't have time for frivolous things such as art and entertainment.
I see you baiting me into an argument. We'll discuss that later.
He says, I do not intend to argue anything. I only intend to put forth the facts.
I slap Jethro and say the facts are they properly lit army goblins slip by them all the time.
He says,
Just loud enough so you can hear it.
He says, goblins slip by our army? Preposterous.
So you say, but we've seen it with our own eyes.
He says, whereabouts did you see these goblins?
Do you have a map?
He
I point out
says,
the window and goes, look, there's some slipping by now.
You should see some walking by. Hey. Behind us.
I'm just kidding.
so he says, indeed, and he reaches into a bag in his side and he pulls a map out that definitely would not have fit in that bag, and rolls it out, and so you have like a map.
I'm gonna point directly where we saw them.
So you don't know exactly where you saw them because you just popped out in a field somewhere.
Then how did we give the entire other campaign directions to where they were?
You said they were like south somewhere. I methey have like a general idea.
Okay, well then I make a circle with my finger.
Yeah. So he says, no, it's just not even possible they could have made it down that far. In fact, that kind of distance and travel, they weren't even active at a time where they could have made it down that far.
Well, this was like last Tuesday, so
There's just no way.
you can say no way as much as you want.
I mean,
Like you, I am a man of intelligence.
And-
When it
and-
comes to my money, I don't fucking lie.
unless the goblins have found some means of whimsical teleportation, then I doubt that this is possible.
There was this unusual looking goblin there. Very large. Looks somewhat like a chieftain of sorts, but weird, and wasn't he glowy?
Yeah,
And glowy.
he says, a large goblin. And you say this goblin was he in charge?
Well, it seemed like they were moving in packs,
Maybe a general.
almost militarized.
Our intelligence has identified 4 generals. That
Is one of them Kenobi?
I don't know what a Kenobi is. We don't know their names. But there seem to be 4 orcs that are much more powerful than the rest, and they seem to command their own regions of the north. And these orcs have powers much far beyond that of, or these goblins have powers much far beyond that of any normal goblin, or in fact any other normal creature that we've come across.
They haven't come across us, Clancy.
He says,
Where's the closest one at?
but he says, the closest one. And let's see. Let's pull up a map. So, this one maybe? Nope, not that one. I've got to find the map with all the stuff on it. Nope, not that one. Come on, guys. Just, give me the map I'm looking for. Map of the North. That doesn't help.
It's an interesting drawing.
Seems like Orkanda's a little thick.
Yeah. Oh well, no. just the god telling the story. He just sucks at finding things on his because I have like several different maps.
The world may never know.
Right. So he pulls out a map and he says where are we? Yep. So the first general's camp lies just north of the border above Gulkeg, and so this is Gulkeg, right? And so he's indicating the first general's like base is up here somewhere.
And where are we currently?
So Orkanda is somewhere on the map. I put it on here. Maybe I didn't. We're gonna say Orkanda is right here.
Okay.
I think I was working on the map though. I'll have to go back and look. But anyways, south of that. Anyways. So. Anyways, you guys are having this conversation with Long Tusk, and we're gonna cut over to Mist for a minute. And so Mist, you're in the Dwarven capital. You've been shown to your room. Is there anything you want to do while you're here in the Dwarven capital?
Yes, I want to talk to one of their magic imbuing whoever for items.
Okay, all right. So you just like asking the guard like, who do I see about this kind of thing?
Yep, pretty much.
Okay. So do you tell them what your needs are exactly?
Yes. So I want my cloak imbued with shadow walk. I want to be able to shadow walk. I want something that allows me to shadow walk.
Like do what Clancy does?
Yes, but I don't want to speak a spell. I just want to do it.
Oh, that sounds like highly overpowered. Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to think that he has to roll for
Well, why
on
can't
command.
it be within a few feet? How would that be highly overpowered if it's within 50 feet?
So all right, so he says you want like a
You know what I mean?
you want like like a royal enchanter or something, right?
Yeah, sure, man.
All right. I mean, I could take you to something like that. We have the Royal Magical Forge, and we talked to one of those guys. So, yeah, he leads you to the where they have like the Royal Magical Forge, and there's a number of like dwarves in there like doing stuff. And roll a discern realities for me.
Is that on wisdom?
Yeah.
I know. I've got an item for this. is that fucker? Ah. Okay, I can add +3. So I'm going to do that twice a day. I'm going to do that for my first time today. Yes, it's happening. Wisdom's max.
Yeah. When you walk in and you see them working, two things strike you as odd. They're doing magical stuff when they're making things, whatnot, but the magic is not coming from them. So it seems like the anvils are drawing magic from below or something, and they have magical fire coming up through the billows that just is being siphoned off from somewhere, but not they're not perpetuating that magic themselves. It's like it's as though there's a system that's just feeding them magic.
God damn it. Okay.
So, anyways, that's just something you notice as you walk in.
Mystery. Okay.
So, anyways, so yeah, one of the dwarves walks over and he says, "Why'd you bring this human here?" To the guy who brought you. He says, "Oh, this is a personal friend of the king. He put him in one of his own suites, and so guess he's some sort of important dignitary or something." He says, "So are you royalty?" As he looks at you.
And I just smile.
He says, well, anyways, it's rude of me to ask, I suppose. Anyways, yeah, it's this guy. He was asking about, doing an enchant of some sort on some clothing. And the guy says, yes, well, that would be chrysanthemum. And he kind of finger waves, and you see this female dwarf over there, and so she looks up and sees him, and so she sits down whatever she's working on and walks over, and she says, "Oi, what's this here?" And he says, this guy, he wants an enchant of some sort. He says, she looks at you, and she says, "Oh, you want enchant, do you? What you need enchant?"
Well, I heard you were the best around, and I need something that's going to allow me to shadow walk or teleport within a few, a good distance, something to that effect.
Teleport? You wanna be here and then be over there?
Yes, exactly. I want to be there or here.
Well, now, that seems like a mighty fine enchant. If we could just be doing that all willy-nilly, I think we'd have quite the army. That's
I would agree.
That's one hell of a trick you want. She says, a lot of our finest technicians been trying to work on something like that, but we don't quite have it nailed down yet, you see. But something I've been wanting to try. But there's an ingredient I don't have. I really need it.
What would that be?
She says, well, it's kind of weird, but what I need is unicorn kidneys.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I told you it was weird.
Unicorns don't even exist. I don't think I've ever seen one in this entire campaign.
I know. Unicorns are super rare. But some say they do exist. And got some books on them. Got some magical properties about unicorns. And lots of different properties. But I think the kidneys, they can be used as a stabilizing element for other magical spells.
Okay, I'm sure that you can procure that.
She says, well, I don't ever leave here. In fact, if you could get those unicorn kidneys for me, and also there's one other thing, they'd be really helpful. I need the blood of a shade.
Right.
Yeah. Like shades, they slip in and out of different types of forms. I think I can use that. And the unicorn kidneys, and a few other choice ingredients I won't tell you. It's my own special recipe. I think I can make it so as you could slip in and out of locations within a small range anyways.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so I'm just gonna walk away.
Okay.
How am I gonna get unicorn kidneys and Shade's blood? That's a whole nother campaign.
Well,
That's not happening.
you know a shade.
Out of character, why don't you just telepathically say what's up to Clancy?
I mean,
Or I can't.
nobody has unicorn kidneys.
No,
I mean,
just telepathically tell Clancy.
Alright, so I'm gonna be muttering and bitching to myself, but I'm gonna do it loud enough that Clancy's gonna hear it inside my head.
You know, just saying, Mist, I can transform into animals,
I was thinking the
and
same.
I
thing.
also have cleric restoration spells. I can produce as many kidneys as you want. For the right price.
Alright.
And guess
What's
what,
the price,
Miss?
my guy?
I'm also part shade. Yay! It's like a one-stop shop for all your fucking animal part needs.
Star, what's grab bag?
What you need, Clancy?
Money. You know what I want. Give me
How much
money. I
money
want
you
money. How much you want to give me?
How much do you want, buddy?
You don't want the answer to that. No, realistically, just like offer a price and he'll probably accept.
100 gold?
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
Done. It's been adjusted in my account.
It will have to wait a little bit while we resolve Minotaur problems and elf problems and dragon problems and 10,000 other problems we have.
I about face and I look at her and I say, I'll be working on that. That should happen shortly. And then I walk away and I'm like, Clancy, do whatever you gotta do, man.
Okay.
I need this bed.
Okay. I'm gonna get money.
So,
Money.
so, Mrs., you're walking down the hall. I guess you're going back to your room or wherever.
Yeah, I'm just going to get food or something.
Yeah. Can you roll another discern realities for me?
Alright. Oh my, that's great.
Wow.
I'm just rolling like a motherfucker tonight.
Yeah. So yeah, you overhear some guards talking, and one of them says, basically, like, "Oh, did you hear that weird news about the Minotaurs?" As you walk by.
That's all I hear.
Yeah, I mean, you can pursue that further if you want, but that's what you catch.
I'm gonna pursue it further.
Okay. So do you ever talk to them, or?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be like, what did I just hear about the Minotaurs? Those bastards.
He says, "Oh no, it's just so they have like those the like tabloid newspapers, the ones that give you weird like fake news."
Yeah, those are hilarious.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. So like, I got this one, and he pulls it out, and you see the headline, and the headline reads, "Minotaur family murdered. Minotaurs now worship a chicken."
Are you fucking kidding me?
And that's just what it says. And he says, "Can you believe this? Can you believe this drivel?" Yeah, I mean, who would believe this?
And I start laughing really hard, and I'm like, I almost do believe this. And I just walk away. Because I know a chicken that could do this.
He says, "Yeah, I mean, chickens, you could just squish them."
You would think so.
So, anyways, going back to Wakanda, wherever that is in my laundry list of things. Right. So you guys, what is happening here?
I knew you were gonna come back
That's
to it.
fucking amazing.
Okay. Anyways,
That was a Mickey Mouse.
for sure it was. It was a balloon animal. It's a balloon dog.
Wakanda.
What were we doing in Wakanda?
We talked about the note. We were dealing with note shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and he
He
said,
just showed us the map.
yeah, showed you the map.
And his balls.
You
I
didn't.
remember that part clearly.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I mean, you're there with Ted and Long Tusk, and he basically pointed on the map kind of where they thought one of the generals was, and that's where we are.
So who's commanding your troops? Who are commanding the goblin troops in this area?
He says, "Well, that's really. I mean, I've already divulged too much. It's classified information, and I don't know you." And then Ted says, "Dude, I mean, Sir Longtusk, please do not disrespect our honored guests. They have come a long way in seek of our assistance, and they're looking to help." And he looks at you and he like nods with the goblins, and he just keeps nodding, looking
I'm
for some.
gonna ignore him, look at him, ignore him, and then be like, "Listen, Mr. Longtusk. May I call you Mr. Longtusk?"
He says, "I would prefer you not call me anything else."
Okay, perfect. Mr. Longtusk, we can help with this goblin issue. We are very good at murder, but right now there are like 17 problems to deal with, so I have a couple of questions.
He says, "Perhaps we should retire to somewhere else. My office, perhaps."
Okie dokie.
And so he leads you like further into the church, into a room where he sits down behind a very large desk made of it's made of bone of some sort. Like it's been the bone's been like ground down and reformed into almost like a cement type material or whatever, but definitely made of bone. And there's a handful of chairs in front of it, and so you guys sit down, or you stand, your choice. But he sits down, and he leans back and he says, "Okay, what can I do for you?"
All right. First, we're currently in the midst of trying to gear up people in order to fight whatever goblins are coming down there. So we currently have an ambassador in the fucking whatever the dwarf place is. In the
Yeah.
dwarven capital.
Durhold.
Yes, I say that. And we are currently working on getting some kind of peace agreement between them and the Minotaurs, which I will have to go check out later. Hey, can we borrow a room for the night, by the way? Thank you. Cool.
Ted just like shakes his head like yes, my honored guest will certainly have a room to stay at with the finest bedding and most delicious of foods, mostly
I
meat.
go, "Oh, most indeed. Grand thank you, sir. King, kind sir." And then I ignore him more. So I'm going to have to go deal with that using, magic. Scary. Wait, did the orcs care about magic?
No, they have magic.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Okay. Then I'm going to have to travel over there and deal with some of that issue in a little bit. Secondly, about... Fuck, man, there's so much shit to remember. About Simba. Do you believe that you could help us figure out where the elves live? Because I'm assuming at some point we're going to have to go deal with that.
He says, "I mean, as far as we know, and our information about the South is limited as we try to keep to ourselves, but as far as we know, the elves live all over the continent."
No particular great forest or anything to live in?
He says, "The last I knew of a great forest of elves was wiped out long ago by the damnable war against magic that the dwarves and minotaurs campaigned."
Ugh. Well, it was a pretty lucrative time, though. I mean, I sold a lot of things.
He says, "I care not about your business dealings. I only care about the Goblin Scourge and defeating it."
Okay, cool. So that's a no on that one. We'll have to figure that out. And finally, about these goblins, what are you gonna pay us?
"I'm sorry?"
I like money. I'm pretty sure you heard that in the introduction. What you don't know is that we are incredible murderers.
He says, orcs are some of the finest warriors on the planet. He says,
I'm gonna slap Agnar in the chest. Same.
and he says, and money holds no sway here in Orkanda.
What, do you work on a trade and barter system?
We are one people, to each of his ability and to each of his need.
So keep it in the family, gotcha.
He
Okay,
says,
well... Was the...
he says in a society where everyone does what everyone can do, there is no need for money.
God, this place is so lame.
Well, I'm sure they have something, like, you know, to reward us. I mean, this is a pretty nice looking advanced city.
This is a pretty great looking candelabra.
He says, you want our candle holders?
Sure, I don't fucking know.
He says, what do I care about a candle holder? We can make thousands more.
How many blacksmiths do you have?
He says, do you mean blacksmiths of the finest quality or any blacksmith? Everyone in Orkanda is a blacksmith.
Cool. In that case, in lieu of a traditional kind of payment for adventuring work, how about if we help you deal with this problem, you sign, I don't know what to call it, not like a partnership between countries, but like, y'all aren't gonna fuck with each other, but y'all might help each other sometimes. I don't know what the fuck that's called.
Like a peace treaty?
Like an alliance
A
treaty or
mutual
something.
defense aid? Mutual defense aid?
Yeah, that.
He says, Orkanda is an independent nation. We rely on no one, and we help no one.
But with an independent nation and a potential other independent nation in the South, you could have even more information about the South, potentially opening up great trade routes.
He says, why would we need trade? Everything we have, we produce here in Orkanda.
Do you have cocaine?
Oh my gosh.
He says, I know not of this cocaine.
It's wonderful. It's really good. It really helps with your mental.
He says,
You
listen,
should try some.
we will fight the goblins. If you wish to also fight the goblins, you may.
Eh.
I have no evidence of your worth as a fighter. Only the silver-tongued words of a tradesman.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
What do you have of value? What can
Does
you
this room
do?
have a window?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm gonna open the window, hop outside. That would be like, what about this is value? And then I'm gonna transform.
Okay. Roll for it.
8. I turn into a dragon.
He says, by the heavens, a dragon. He says, what sort of witchcraft? I have seen transforming, but in order to be a dragon, you have to have been around a dragon. That is my understanding of the ability. Is that correct?
I'm gonna transform back, lean on the window, all super casual like, and be like, yeah, I'm a bard, druid, cleric, wizard.
He says, yes, but that doesn't explain your dragon transformation. Do you
good
have
like
access to dragons?
There's someone super evil that has access to dragons.
He says, and this evil person, where did they reside?
In the depths of hell when I'm done with them.
He says, I suppose a dragon could be useful. But what about the rest of you're only 4 people, 3 people, 4 people?
Oh, we have more. I don't remember if I mentioned it to you, even though I know I did, Mr. Longtusk. We have several people, and remember me mentioning that whatever agreement?
Yes, you mentioned some sort of alliance, I believe.
Yes, we have an entire town filled with highly qualified individuals who travel the entire continent murdering things. As well as, I don't know, like fucking, I don't even remember how many Minotaurs. Several Minotaurs.
He says, "This utopian society you speak of sounds like a dream.
I can take you there.
I do,
I
not,
can show you the
I do not have
world.
time for travel to the south."
You have 20 minutes? Well, you have an hour and 20 minutes?
He says, "And how would I be there in just an hour and 20 minutes?"
Oh, come on. You know magic exists. And I just told you, I'm basically God.
He says, "Show me your magic then."
Oh,
Boastful.
I'll show you some magic.
I'm gonna look at Gray and Gotcha and be like, hey, we're taking a trip. And then I cast a spell.
Okay.
Add 1 to that, but whatever. So 8. And
Yep.
I'll gain unwanted attention, but we'll teleport directly into the center of town.
Okay. So it's actually perfect. So as you're passing through the portal, to the town, something grabs a hold of your arm, as you're going through. And
Like in the portal?
yeah, in the darkness of the portal, something grabs Clancy's arm. And let's see, where's that? I was looking for the right moment. Now is the right moment. If only I can find what I was looking for. Where are you at? Where are you at? It might be my other PC. Wouldn't that suck? Sure enough. I hate you. I hate you, game, so much. Come on. Really? But really, that sucks. Okay. So as you come out the other side, and the thing that's grabbed you comes with you, you drag it out. It's a sort of hunched over, decayed, decrepit-looking little creature, man-ish, and as you come through, and its tight grip around your wrist comes with you. He looks up at you and it says, "Your money. Give us your money or you're alive.
I cast a spell.
The Dark Lord commands your money." Okay.
With an 8. I'll lose it too afterwards, but I cast Cage
Okay.
around its head.
Okay. And so a cage forms around his head, and then now no sound passes through that, right?
Nope. No sound, no air, no nothing.
Yeah. So you see his lips still moving, and when it seems to him as though like he can't hear anything and no one can hear him, he starts like kind of looking around like stuff, and then he like takes his hands out, and then he starts pointing at you, and pointing to his hand, and then like doing the like money, like you know, and he just keeps doing that over and over again.
And then he starts choking.
He's undead.
Oh. This is weird. In that case, I cast a different spell.
Okay.
With an 8, I'll lose it too, and I cure critical wounds on him.
Yeah, roll some damage. Whatever the critical room.
3d8,
Okay.
12 damage.
Yeah. So yeah, you can see him like physically writhe in pain. You can't hear his screams, but you can see that he's possibly screaming.
This is fun. As he's writhing and screaming, I start trying to rifle through his pockets, and I'm like, "See, Long Tusk, told you there was a town."
Long Tusk is like, is that something I should be concerned about? Also, what did we just do?
It's called magic. All
So-
that entertainment you're talking about fuels it.
He says, no, I understand magic. What type of magic? How did we move from where we were to where we are now?
Well, if you look under your feet,
He
so
looks.
until he looks down.
He looks.
See that dark circle right there, where it's called your shadow?
I know what a shadow is, simpleton.
See that? See that? I'm the simpleton, yet I can teleport. Sounds like somebody doesn't want the answer.
He says, I don't mean to be rude, but you are being quite vexing in your explanation. Please speak plainly and clearly and to the point.
All right. You've been very disrespectful to me, so fuck you for one. And two, it's called Shadow Step. I talk about a shadow in a specific area, and I can teleport there.
That is quite powerful magic indeed, sir.
God.
He says, we don't worship any gods in Wakanda.
Oh, no, obviously I'm not a real god. I'm just super fucking awesome.
He says, well, this is a quaint town you have, but you can't possibly have more than 1,000 inhabitants.
Oh, feel free to explore for about an hour. I've got to recharge my spell.
He says, so, you have limitations on usage, I then take it? It would make sense for a powerful spell, but still.
Only if it goes poorly. That's how I get shit like this, and I kick the thing on the ground.
Yeah, so when you kick it, it looks aroused.
I kick it again.
It continues to be aroused, for sure.
I'm just gonna keep kicking it. I'm gonna be like, yeah, go explore. This is meditation now.
He says, and you won't abandon me here? And so, did you take Ted with you, I assume? Or
No, I just took him. I could
just you and him?
technically take everybody
Okay.
if that makes it easier.
So you're okay. If you shoot you and him, he says, and do I have your assurances that you won't abandon me here in this foreign territory?
The assurance is I can't fucking cast it. So be back in like 45 minutes, and I still won't be quite ready.
And he says, and orcs are well received in a town such as this?
You know what? I'm gonna take you on a tour, and I'm gonna just start pointing out all the different races. I'll
Okay.
just be like, we got those things, that guy,
Yeah.
those things over there.
Weirder thing wiggles in the corner.
Yeah.
You see one of the worms from Dune just kind of like chilling. Oh wait, actually there are two giant worms here. Or are they here?
They are not here yet. No, it's still
Ah,
it's
right.
still going to be like quite some time before they arrive,
Shame.
because that was like at best a couple of days ago, and it's going to take them like a month.
Right, I forget because the whole not playing for a while.
Yeah. So let's see. I had the thing. All right. So yeah, you're showing him around. So meanwhile, back in Wakanda, Ted and Gray and Gotrin and Agnar are all there, so he's like, "Oh, cool," because you're still in that dude's office. He's like, "Oh, great, he's gone. Oh, it's so hard being like all kingly and stuff, guys. Hey, while they're gone, who wants to drink?"
Hell yeah.
Sure.
"Oh yeah, we got some like pretty cool stuff stored away. We'll go raid the cellar. Like my pops had like killer cellar. Yeah." Yeah, so he takes you down into the castle's cellar, or takes you back to the castle and down in the cellar. Yeah, and there's like alcohol from like all around the continent, and like there are some like bottles that are dating back like 1,000 years.
Oh.
And Gotron, do a discern realities for me. You do spot a bottle of mud wine off in the distance.
Yes, I run. I make a beeline towards it.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you pull out, you notice it's like 835 years old.
Ooh, good quality.
Yeah. And
Just one.
just the one, yeah.
I walk back and hand it to him and say, "This is the entree for tonight."
He says, "Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you can have that, bro. I don't want that.
All right, I put it in my bag without a second.
Yeah. And he says, Gray, I got one here. I think you might like, bro." And he pulls one off the shelf, and it's blood wine.
Whoa!
Yeah.
The hell is this?
He says, "Bro, this is some like blood wine." Now, and he looks around and it's like, okay, yeah. So like this is the blood of humans, which I know is a little frowned upon nowadays, but you know, orcs a long time ago, kind of ate humans. So like this is kind of contraband, like not allowed to have it anymore. But like
Yep,
my pops,
taking it.
yeah, it's like it's like I only have like a sip every now and then of some of this stuff, but it's pretty good. I get it. Like I get it why the orcs ate the humans. And then he looks over at Agnar, and he's like, "Oh, Agnar, huh? Like, do you want some alcohol, bro?
I'll take some of that blood wine.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, have at it." And he says, "And what about that guy, the quiet guy over there?" And he points at Jethro. Jethro does nothing. Did we lose Derek? Oh, okay.
Maybe.
You there, Derek?
Yeah, say it again.
So Ted was asking about Jethro, like if he wanted something.
He'll drink what I drink.
He says, "Oh, okay, bro, cool." And he says, "This is also another favorite of mine." And he pulls out another one. And he's like, "This one is like, it's well, they take a goblin and they like ferment goblin. I don't know how it works, but like they say if you drink it, like you know, it's like an aphrodisiac." He says, "Oh yeah, so like because I'm the king, like I can have bitches anytime I want."
That sounds wonderful.
Amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I just have to like call down for them and like they send them up. I mean, normally we like play games and like talk about life. That's pretty good.
Is my dreams of a muscular orc mommy finally gonna come true?
He's oh yeah, we have all the muscular orc mommies. Yeah, no cat people, I'm afraid. Yeah, but yeah, we got orcs. So yeah, he takes y'all back to like his private quarters and you know calls up some girls or whatever. And then so back to Mist real quick. Yeah, is there anything else you're doing while you're like chilling like a villain?
Nope. I'm just waiting for my unicorn
Cool. So
blood.
while you're in your room, there's a knock at the door.
Sweet. I answer it.
Yeah, and so there's like an attendant, and he says, "The king requests your presence at dinner if you would like."
Fantastic. I'm in.
Yeah. So and he leads you to like the dining hall, and so you walk in, and then the king is there. So and his name is Gelford, but so King Gelford is there. He's there with his wife, Queen Amethyst, and then there's Dorian, who is the second-born prince, next in line to the throne. And then there's 2 princesses, Durnia and Delphi. And so they're all sitting at the table, the family. And he says, "Mist, come to the table. Join us for dinner."
Awesome.
Um,
I do.
yeah, and so you're all sitting there, and he says, "So, Mist, what is it that you do again? It escapes me for the life of me. How do you what do you do for a living? I suppose."
I run a city and run an adventures guild.
He says, "Ah, yes, yes. And how is that going?"
It's quite wonderful. Thank you for asking.
Ah, yes. And your city. That's the one that I was pulled to, I suppose.
That you frequented? Yes, that would be correct.
Ah, yes. It's quite a quaint town. It's if I recall, it's not on the map.
No, it is not.
He says, "Yes, we'll have to update the map makers, so that you get a proper spot for your town."
That would be fantastic.
Yes. He says, "So any family, Miss? Do you have children or a wife?"
Unfortunately, I do not.
He says, "Oh, it's a shame." And he sort of gestures at his family, and he says, "Family can be one of the most fulfilling things a man can do."
I wipe a tear away.
He says, "Yes, but it can also be quite painful." He says, "I'm sure you know, I lost a son somewhat recently."
That is terrible.
It's quite terrible, yes. And then my youngest son, Darren, he's off doing God knows what. He hangs about with there's people in Ugarin.
Yeah, those people.
Yes. It's one of the worst mistakes I ever made, sending him to live with Duke Hagar there. At the time, I was unaware of his affinity for the unsavory races.
I just keep quiet.
Yeah. He says, "Have you met my wife, Amethyst?"
Oh Lord, have I met her?
No.
Okay, good. I was like, I don't know if I have or haven't.
Um,
I'll be like, no, I have not met her acquaintance.
she says, "Oh, lovely to meet you. How is it that you and my husband met again?"
We are the greatest of friends the second we met. It was wonderful.
She says,
He's such a lovely person.
"Yes, well, quite odd, being a human and all. I guess these are different times."
I look at her and I say, I'm not quite human.
She says, "Well, you look perfectly human to me, but who am I to judge?"
Am I, so they hate everything but dwarves, right?
They
Or is it only humans because humans are not?
no, they basically don't like anything that's not a dwarf, but they particularly hate magical races. They will use them for their own personal utility, and I mean they use magic themselves, but they don't like the Fae in general.
Okay.
But I mean they were until he died. They followed Lou, who was your father.
So they followed him
Yeah, I mean they were.
willingly?
Yeah, I mean both them and the Minotaurs followed Lou and were doing his bidding.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
But remember, you try, so you've met the king before, when you guys were in Macrotier,
Yep.
and you tried to prove that you were like Lou's son by showing him your amulet, and he was just like, it's like, it's a wooden amulet, like who gives a crap?
That's true.
Yeah. So, well, anyways, while you're sitting there, he also he says, Yes, and this is my second born son. He's going to be king one day. And he motions at Dorian. He says, Dorian, look up. Get your nose out of that book. And Dorian looks up and he says, but father, I was just getting to the good part. And he says, didn't I say no books at the table? And he says, father, you don't know anything. And he says, boy, I said put that book away. And he says, fine. And he like shoves it sort of like down beside him. And he says, yes, well, I'm the crown prince. And who are you? You said you're some sort of you run a shabby little town or something. And so the king comes back and he says, don't be rude. He says, yes, well, anyways, I don't know why we have to sit through this rabble, but nice to meet you.
Likewise.
And so dinner kind of carries on that way. And then so we cut back to Clancy back in town. The time's gone by, and you've shown Long Tusk the town. And he says, yes, this is quite a peculiar town. It's quite odd to see so many races working together in harmony. Perhaps it is possible in small numbers for people to get along, but in our experience, the more you have, the more people you have, the more trouble you have.
Well, let's be entirely honest. This isn't even the full capacity of our town. Don't forget, this is a town of adventurers, so quite a few of our people are just out across the continent doing things.
He says, yes, well, it is impressive for sure. I do recall some of the gods mentioning this place when they came to pick up Ted. Said it was quite interesting.
Indeed. Well, are you ready to head back?
Yes, let's head back. It's quite warm here.
All right, let's get up under the shade tree.
He says, okay.
Oh, we're not going under the table.
Watch carefully.
Well, so and what did you do with the thing that you put a box around his head?
I tied some bricks. Dropped it in the fucking frog's house.
Okay. The frog that's dead, right? All right. So yeah, it's down. It's sleeping with the fishes, I suppose. All right. Yeah. So you head back, and I think we'll kind of conclude there with you heading back to meet the group, and we'll reconvene next week on how this continues. Yep.
Sounds good.
Nice.
All right. Cool deal. And Melody won't be here
Shut
next
down
week
all
either,
of
so she'll reappear eventually. Maybe the poop tunnels will lead her to somewhere. So, anyways, thanks for playing, guys.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Have a good one.
Where's my stream? I gotta end that somewhere. There it is. Bye, stream. Bye, Brazil.
Gotta make notes of all the extra shit I gotta do.